Q&A on cabin crew, what I like and what I don't like so much about cabin crew as a job. And the first one, the biggest of them all, is today, I've compiled all the questions you guys have asked me about cabin crew and summed them up. I will be sharing with you on the pros and cons, how to join cabin crew, things on accommodations, jet lag. Be sure to stay tuned to the end because the last one is something many of you have asked about, why I left and whether I will be rejoining the airline in the future. To answer the first question, it's a very no-brainer answer. Traveling, definitely. Being able to explore different countries in a very short period of time as compared to how normal people outside would travel. Imagine like SQ flies to 64 countries for me back in the day. To be able to travel non-stop every single month. Places I've never been: New York, Frankfurt, Düsseldorf. My most eye-opening countries was actually in Moscow. There was once whereby we had a layover that was like almost 2 weeks long. So this was back in 2019. We just touched down from Singapore to Moscow and it was in winter. We're just loading our bags onto the bus to head to the hotel. This is me in the bus with a neck pillow because the journey from the airport to the hotel is actually 2 hours. So this was my first time there in winter. I had been in Moscow during spring before. This was in 2018, Moscow in spring, and in winter the scenery is very pretty, looks straight out from a movie. When we were in Moscow, we actually did a shuttle flight to Stockholm. So we ferried passengers, and this is me in 2018, looking super fresh. Let me take you on another journey to New York on the longest non-stop flight from Singapore to New York in the world, almost 19 hours in the air. And this was actually what we saw on the airplane, the Northern Lights. Times Square is the place in New York, and this is Stardust Diner with singing waitresses and waiters. Also got to meet family in New York. Another flight to Copenhagen, we drove up 8 hours to Sweden, stayed in an Airbnb, and that's me testing out the temperature. During my flying days, I also got to try many different cuisines, and that's what I'm grateful for and love in traveling. That's what I really loved about being cabin crew, hands down. The second thing I love about being cabin crew is actually the hotel room. Oh my gosh, can I just say how much I love the hotel rooms. Flying with Singapore Airlines, I kind of got spoiled. Before I joined the airline, whenever I traveled, I used to be able to backpacking, stay in hostels. After joining the airline and after leaving the airline, let me tell you right now, all I can ever do is just stay in a nice hotel. Especially if there is like complimentary breakfast. Food is just amazing. Travel and hotels, top 2 for me. On the other end of the spectrum, what I like the least of the job is also to do with the way we travel. This might not be the same for everybody. After my first or second year, traveling did not bring me as much maybe exciting anymore because I realized that I started to gain the desire to travel to places with people that I love instead. So the thing about being cabin crew is, especially after you've been flying for a while, you keep traveling to the same places. Amount of time you get, for example, if you fly to Australia, it's only 1 night. Every single time you fly there, there's only so much you can do. And if you do different things, there's only so much you can do because there's only so much time you have. Versus if you went to Australia on a holiday, you would probably be booking road trips, spending days on exploring different cities. When cabin crew, yes, you can do road trips too. It's a very limited amount of time, and if you do road trip, you have to see whether you have enough time. Normally, you would have to sacrifice a little bit of sleep by either waking up really early or taking a chance of coming back a bit later and then having lesser sleep. Next day you need to go back to Singapore, you need to operate on a flight, as compared to if you went on a holiday. But of course, did I have fun? When I was a cabin crew, we flew to Brisbane, for example. I did a road trip to Gold Coast. Yes, it was tiring. It was so fun as well. It was a good experience. It's just that it's not something that I would probably do again, over and over again. But as time went by, towards the 4th year of my flying, flew to places like Melbourne. I would rather much prefer to stay in and sleep. Which brings me to somebody was asking in the comments, how do you recover from jet lag? I have no other answer for you other than sleep. The do not disturb lights being lighted on every single door is like, do not disturb, do not disturb, do not.
How to know? You enter cabin crew territory.
Red equals do not disturb.
Because everyone's sleeping. There are times whereby I will sleep so much. Suddenly I wake up and then I'm like, I don't know which country I'm in. That has happened before. It's such a crazy feeling. It's only something that cabin crew would understand. If you are cabin crew and if you're watching this video, let me know in the comments if you can relate to this. Because I know you can. It would be nice to know. The reason why I left the airline in the end, I was totally comfortable with the job scope. The pay was consistently attractive. It was good. I guess there were two reasons why I left. The first reason is a push factor and the second reason is a pull factor. So the push factor isn't really the final reason why. It wasn't like the last straw. Basically, I felt stagnant. I felt like there was no growth. Every single flight after flight after flight, you would repeat doing the same thing, doing the same sequence over and over and over again. The skill sets that you use is the same over and over and over again. Even if there are problems that occur in the flight, usually related to a few categories, it's either service, safety or security, and the solutions are all within these categories. Felt that there wasn't much growth in terms of understanding more about the world. It's very confined to the cabin, it's very confined to the plane. But of course, if you step into the plane, there's so many things to learn every single day from the incidents that happen in the plane. But what I was looking for was something much bigger than that. So that's one. Towards my second or third year, I knew that flying wasn't something that I wanted to do for life. I didn't feel fulfilled in my purpose, the career. I felt that it's more that I could learn, growing personally, developing more skills. The big pull factor, two pull factors. First pull factor was COVID. COVID hit in 2020. Supposed to go on this really nice flight. It was like a crazy good flight. That flight enabled me to be in Manchester for like straight 2 weeks. It's rare for anyone to get a flight, but the universe, has its plans. COVID came and then all the flights got grounded, all the flights got cancelled, and suddenly all of us went from flying and we all stayed in Singapore. Before there was a lockdown, there was a lot of changes. We made a lot of adaptations. Really started to get me thinking and venturing into other industries. I started to learn how to dropship. Wasn't my favorite, but I learned a lot of new things. So I think that kind of increased my interest in the outside world, outside of the cabin. That was one. Second reason, actually very funny, because back then I was still flying in 2021. I remember I would get these pre-flight blues. If you're a cabin crew, you understand what that means. And I would get this pre-flight blues and it would be so bad. It would be so bad. Like seriously, before every single flight, I would feel so depressed, in the worst moods ever. When anyone talks to me, I'll be like, what do you want? Don't talk to me about that, okay? I'm going for my flight now. Yeah, I'll be like so irritated, almost like I'm on my menstrual period. That would happen every single time before a flight. Happened so many times. I was really so unhappy going for flight. When onto the aircraft, everything's fine. You're able to suddenly shift your mood and be professional. But then when I came home after flight, it was the best feeling ever. Yeah, I'm back in Singapore, and through that process, and of course through COVID, and then through not wanting to leave my loved ones in Singapore, I realized that this wasn't making me happy anymore. This job wasn't making me happy anymore. Even though it really was my childhood dream job, fought so hard to get it. I had so much determination, so much emotions to get this job. After 5 years, I just couldn't. Wasn't making me happy, and it was making me really depressed actually. Every single time before my flight, I felt like something had to change. Of course, on my last flight that you can watch in my channel, so it was my last flight and it was very emotional as well because of course, it was my dream job. So these are the reasons why I left the airline. And the next question is, will I ever join the airline again? Many of you have left many lovely comments saying that, oh Ava, I hope to see you in the skies again, hope to see you in an airplane again, hope to see you in SQ again. but I know what I want. Although I have to be honest with you, it's been 2 years since I left the airline. Of course, there are times where I have dreamt, I literally dreamt in my dreams of wearing the kabaya and going on flight again. But it's very strange because in my dreams, every single time I put on the uniform and just when I'm about to go for reporting for a flight, I will realize in my dream, that's not what I want anymore. I will just not go on that flight, even in my dream. I think my subconscious knows that I've already let go of this part of my life. No matter how much I miss it, no matter how much I miss wearing my uniform, getting ready, my hair look really good on a flight to travel to places, my subconscious knows that it's part of my life that I've been through and experienced and I've put down. The short answer is, fortunately or unfortunately, I do not see myself joining the airlines or going back to the airlines as a cabin crew ever again. I really enjoy my time on the ground. I love being with my family, my loved ones, able to control my own time, being able to fly wherever I want, whenever I want, be the one who's being served for a change. A couple of people leaving comments asking things about joining the airlines. So if you want to join, find out more, alright? But basically, apart from Singaporeans, there are 7 other nationalities that also can join this queue, can also apply. Back then in my day, we went through physical interviews all the way. Now I believe there's an online application and only selected candidates will get a link to go to a video interview. After that, only shortlisted candidates will go through a final interview, which I presume is a physical interview. And then after that, only shortlisted people will be notified. So that's how they work. Yeah, you can apply now. I believe aviation is picking up. If there's one thing I learned about life recently in these years, there's a lot of things that are unpredictable. We really can't take anything for granted. So if you can travel now, travel now. If life is calling you to apply to be a cabin crew, go for it. Don't wait anymore. My final question that I will answer is, many people are asking what career path am I pursuing now? After leaving the airline, I went to join real estate. The reason why I joined real estate is there were many reasons. One of them was to gain more time freedom. Long story short, and I'll save this story for another day, that when you join real estate, you don't really get time freedom. To get back to the question, I joined real estate. And then I went on a lot of self-discovery journeys, personal development courses, workshops, retreats, overseas retreats. So that's it, guys. I think I've answered pretty much many of the burning questions. If there's any other questions that you have, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so that more people who have aspirations of becoming cabin crew can also get to see this video. This video will help them, hopefully has helped you answer some of your questions before you join the airline. If you're thinking of joining the airline, if you're new to this channel, leave down in the comments below as well. Let me know. I'll be committed to making consistent videos every single week for you guys pertaining to the topic of cabin crew that you guys have asked. And moving forward, I will be making content, not only become cabin crew, but how to get anything you want in life, be it in your career, your health, your wealth, or your life purpose. It's things that I learned in my journey from becoming a cabin crew to leaving the airline to where I am right now, and I would love to share all of that with you. So yes, thank you for watching, and I wish you a very